The past couple years, I've put out a top 10 sets for investing video. I haven't done that this year because it really just isn't how I view LEGO investing. There aren't just 10 sets that I could say are my top picks. All of my investing decisions are based on buy price. Some sets I may look to buy for 40% off, others 60% off. And if I get those sets at those discounts, they're equally as good of investments for me. This year I have over 50 sets in my highest tier where I'd say I'm high on them for investing. So instead of trying to whittle down a definitive top 10, I'm just going to share an analysis of 5 of my top sets for investing this year. With that, let's get into it with the first set, Kohl's Elemental Earth Mech, set number 71806, MSRP of $19.99, released in January of 2024, so it'll have a 2-year shelf life. On Amazon, it's never been more than 20% off, consistently selling 2,000 units a month when it's been just 10% off or at MSRP. It's rarely been 20% off. It currently has 11 sellers and the lowest one is priced at $25.99, well over MSRP. There are 2 minifigures. They have about $8 of Bricklink value. Nothing too crazy, but is decent. There's great continued collectability with this set, while Sora's Elemental Tech Mech is retiring. 71808 Kai's Elemental Fire Mech is continuing on into 2026. One of my better investments last year was Lloyd's Elemental Power Mech, 71817. $20 MSRP. It's currently going for $45 on Amazon and $38 on Walmart. I got 54 of these and I bought them for on average just under $11. The set retiring this year is in a very similar situation, just has a longer shelf life. Next is the Insect Collection, set number 21342, MSRP of $79.99, released in September of 2023, so it'll have a 2-year and 4-month shelf life. This set's never been more than 20% off online. It sold 20,000 units on Amazon over Q4 in 2023 at MSRP, and then 20K again in Q4 2024 at 20% off. It consistently sells 2,000 units a month outside of Q4. Until recently, it sold 1,000 units a month for a bit, but that is still solid. Supply has been practically flat at around 20 sellers its entire shelf life. It would be better if it was in the teens, but with the demand numbers it has, that doesn't concern me. On Amazon, it only has 1 seller at MSRP and none under MSRP. And on Walmart, it's very undersupplied with only 3 third-party sellers. The common talking point I've heard for this set is that it goes great with a botanical theme. Who knows how many people are actually pairing them together? What matters to me are the supply and demand numbers and no significant discounts. It's currently in a very similar situation as Tales of the Space Age was last year. It was unclear where demand would come from in the future as far as continued collectability or cultural relevance, but it's very good demand while on shelves. Put those worries to bed for me. And then I have a 2-for-1, the One Piece Brickheads retiring this year, Monkey D. Luffy and Buggy the Clown, set number 40799 and 40800. MSRP of $9.99 for both of them, both released in August of 2025, and they'll have a 5-month shelf life. It seems like these sets are going way under the radar. They were just released, and it seems like people just aren't paying attention to them or think they will get pushed next year. I've been saying this for several months, like since the summer. The retirement list is locked in, and I'm not concerned about sets getting pushed at this point in the year. On Amazon and Walmart, their lowest prices are well over MSRP. These sets have everything going for them. LEGO exclusive, short shelf life, great continued collectability with the other One Piece sets that are not retiring this year. And then next year we have the 2nd season of the live action One Piece coming out, which is a perfect boost to their cultural relevance. The second to last set that I have is the Truck and Tracked Excavator, set number 10931, MSRP of $19.99, released in June of 2020, so it'll have a 5-year, 7-month shelf life. While everyone is excited about the New York and Paris architecture sets that have really long shelf lives, but people aren't worried about that, for me, I'm much more excited about this set that has a very long shelf life. It consistently sells 6,000 units a month on Amazon at just 20% off, and over the past 2 Q4s, it's sold 30,000 units both times. The demand for this set is absolutely through the roof, and then supply is basically floor level, especially for a set that's been out for this long. It only has 14 sellers, and the lowest price is at $25. Before recently, it's only been discounted once to $15 at Target, and then other than that, 20% off was the lowest it had been online. Recently, it has been on sale for 32% off, but that's not enough of a discount for me to pick them up. A good comparison for the set is 10930 Bulldozer, retired in 2023, $10 MSRP, was rarely discounted, and the buy box on Amazon was just recently $38.99 and $28 on Walmart. This may not be the best set if you're only selling on eBay, but anyone taking LEGO investing seriously, I would definitely recommend getting on Walmart. But children's sets focused on construction will always be highly searched for on sites like Amazon and Walmart. And lastly is the Speed Champions Aston Martin 2-pack, set number 76925. MSRP of $44.99, released in June of 2024, so I'll have a 1 year and 7-month shelf life. This set is a Walmart exclusive, only 12 sellers on Amazon, with the lowest price being $64, and there's only one seller on Walmart. The only other F1 set we have retiring in December of this year is the Kick F1 car, but all the other F1 cars are continuing on past this year. F1 is continuing to have a lot of cultural relevance and keeping up demand for those sets. The other newer version of this F1 car, 77245, is not retiring, but this one does have a safety car. At the end of the day, keeping it very simple, the supply on the set is very low, and it's going to have steady demand in retirement. Those are the 5 sets that I wanted to cover. I will say anything can still change for these sets and cause them to drop down my rankings. This analysis is just based on their current situation. One of the biggest negative impacts you could see is if one of these sets gets put on a large discount, very significant discount, and it's available for an extended period of time. That could cause supply to really go through the roof. You want these deep discounts to be very short-lived, so there's not a ton of supply out there, a ton of competition out there trying to sell with you at that same low buy price. You want to be one of the few people that have a really good buy price, and you actually want to have the lowest buy price of your competition. But I'm very excited for the next few months. Q4 is peak season for Lego investing, with huge boosts in demand for our retired investments, and then also huge sales on retiring sets that bring in perfect opportunities for investing. I will note here at the end that every year I do have a number 1 set for investing that I feel is going completely under the radar, that I only talk about in my investing community. In 2023, it was 80039 Heavenly Realms. In 2024, it was 42162 Bugatti Bolide Agile Blue. And this year, my top set for investing may be my favorite out of those 3. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you drop a like below and subscribe to my channel for more Lego investing content. And if you agree or disagree with these takes, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. As always, my videos are not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm only sharing my journey as a Lego investor, and I encourage you to do your own research before buying any Lego sets.